My name is Lori Johnson and I'm a 4th grade teacher at Marley Park Elementary School. I first got into personalized learning when I changed from kindergarten to 4th grade. I started paying attention to things that were going on in my classroom and realized how much content I had to deliver to my students. And I started realizing that I was losing a lot of my student engagement and my kids were not making mastery on the standards that I really wanted them to. I felt like I had an idea of what it was, but I really didn't have my students in control of their own learning. I still kind of had felt like I was still a teacher-directed classroom, and I really wanted it to be more learner-directed. And the way that I learned it was that it really did take that control from me, which was scary at first. It really was. We're so used to being up there and saying, hey, we're all gonna listen to Miss Johnson talk, and then we're all gonna do this worksheet, and then you're all gonna turn it in, and then we're gonna do the next activity. And to have the ability to say, well, here's what we're learning today. We are gonna be working on RL3, and here are some ideas of ways that you can learn it. And I provide them with some different strategies, and they choose the path that they want. And the learner choice has been the most exceptional piece to all of this personalized learning. The buy-in is amazing. They're excited, they are engaged. My level of mastery on my test that we had on my weekly test last week, I couldn't believe how many more kids were successful, and I really do think it's because they spent 2 days really diving into the content in a different way than me just providing that for them. So I think the buy-in has definitely been the fact that they can be in control of their own learning. They have voice, they have choice, and they have freedom to figuring out how they want to meet my expectations in the classroom. In addition to being able to do those kind of things, I have them reflecting a lot, and they're able to kind of think about where am I at in meeting this mastery. And personal reflection is a hard thing to teach unless you're really actually engaging the kids in doing that. Through those powerful skills and through the idea that they are in charge of their own learning path, they're able to kind of look at it and do what they need to do, but also reflect on it and make changes in the long run with what they're trying to do. I think what is happening the most is that my kids take something and look at a piece of content now, and instead of looking at like, wow, this is what I learned, and forgetting it the next day, they're owning their own learning. And through the powerful conversations that they're having either with me in small group instruction, which that's the way my classroom has changed. I'm able to sit with 4 or 5 kids because I have kids so engaged in other opportunities, and I can sit down and have these great conversations with them. And that collaboration and the questioning and the ideas that they're coming up with, not only when they're with me, but then when they're out working in their own learning paths, are all skills that I thought I was teaching before when I would do, let's just do a round robin, or not that I'm saying that that's a bad thing, but I think what I've done is I've enhanced the ability. They're creating their own guiding questions. They're having to think and engage in things in such a different way. And in the end, I think I'm just making a better learner, and I'm making a better person in the long run, who's going to be able to identify personally what works for them and what doesn't, and hopefully find their right path. I think what's really important is that you look at what piece do you want to implement it in, like where do you want to do it, how do you want to do it? Because if you don't have a clear path on the way that you're going to implement it, it's not going to be successful. In the other end, it could start as small as, providing just choices. Like we've all kind of used a choice menu in our classrooms before, or perhaps maybe we've run centers in our classroom. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of starting that direction. The only difference is instead of you saying what they're going to be doing, they're given that information. They ask the questions about what it is that needs to be learned about that, and then they figure out their own way to learn it. It's amazing how you can look out and see all of your kids sitting there working and engaged and collaborating and sitting next to each other and showing the work that they did, or they're coming up going, look what I did, Miss Johnson, look what I did, Miss Johnson. And it's so different when I didn't use personalized learning. And now I just feel like that they really are enjoying learning, and that makes me really proud.